Over time, there has been a lot of political permutations, postulations, and even guesswork about the political status or political relevance of the Honorable Minister of FCT, Honorable Nyesom Wike, owing to his dealings with the APC political party or the ruling class, while still having one of his legs in PDP as a card-carrying member of the party. The former governor of Jigawa State, His Excellency Mr. Sule Lamido, has just made a categorical statement which has added flesh to my earlier postulations and predictions about what will become of Nyesom Wike in the Nigerian political hemisphere. According to the former governor, he maintained that President Bola Tinubu would, that as soon as he finds a way to garner the required vote he needs from the South, that he will throw Nyesom Wike out of his cabinet and Nyesom Wike will become politically irrelevant in Nigeria. Well, I had earlier made a video about this where I cited a lot of scenarios, a lot of issues. But before we look into that very video, it is becoming safe to say, or allegedly, that Honorable Nyesom Wike has actually helped President Bola Tinubu to finally destroy PDP. Make on watch the video and we shall dive into more details.
Member of the PDP as today has thrown his weight behind Tinubu for the 2027 election, but he's still in PDP. How do you come to terms with that? He's in the opposition, he's thrown his weight behind the incumbent who is in APC.
I try avoiding discussing personalities because when you begin to discuss personalities, then you are narrowing the issue and you are getting the whole issue diminished. I've been saying Tinubu will look for somebody who will help him in his own political interest. And they are very, very willing mercenaries who are willing to be rewarded and hired. Remove the office which he is holding today. He will be like me, an ordinary person. So his entire weight and the rhetorics and whatever he's saying, it's because he's got the office which, give that kind of flair, visibility, and authority. Simple. Remove him from that office. He'll be like me. So please, leave Wike alone. Look, I don't know, but then I think Wike days are numbered because the purpose of picking Wike was for him to make sure that Tinubu became something in the South. And today, by Tinubu, personally, maybe personal manipulation and personal coercion, he'll be able to win over Akwa Ibom. He'll be able to win over Edo. He'll be able to win over Delta. And of course, Wike is there for River. So you see, this area in the South was purely scaled by Tinubu's personal effort, not through Wike. Earlier on, Wike might have been relevant, but then by the time Tinubu is able to secure the South in his own basket, Wike will become irrelevant, and he'll remove him. I'm telling you that. He will remove him because he held him for a purpose. He's appointed Wike for a purpose, giving the office for a purpose, and by the time the purpose is no more, that's the end of it.
Well, it is quite interesting that this very former governor was able to see a little into the future what will become of Honorable Nyesom Wike. If you have been following me in this very channel, which I appreciate so much, for those of you who are joining me, on this YouTube channel, I believe that many of you also follow me on my Facebook, The Inspired Castro, where we have, over 900,000, dedicated Nigerians who are joining and lending their voice in working towards having a beautiful new Nigeria. So, if you have already watched my earlier videos, you would have seen my predictions about Nyesom Wike, Bola Tinubu, Atiku, and PDP. Do not forget that Nyesom Wike originally had a presidential ambition to be the president of this country, and that was the beginning of the crisis he had with Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, where the both of them got into the primary, and Nyesom Wike was played out of that very primary. And since then, he has been fighting so hard. Today, PDP is no longer a political party. Yes, I will tell you at the end of this video. The remaining part of PDP, after Alhaji Atiku Abubakar left, is now a weapon fashioned against every other political party in Nigeria, especially the ADC coalition. Now, Nyesom Wike, with his presidential ambition, had a purpose for aligning to work with President Bola Tinubu, either for this ministerial appointment or to forge ahead with his presidential ambition. But the chances of him becoming or even getting into the ballot is actually very rare because he has succeeded, allegedly in destroying the same platform that would have given him the voice, and that is PDP. Now, PDP has been grossly divided. Even before Alhaji Atiku Abubakar left, PDP has been polarized, destroyed. In fact, PDP is now structureless in Nigeria, and you will begin to find out a little bit. Now, Nyesom Wike aligning with President Bola Tinubu, it is simply for his own personal gain and then to remain politically relevant. And Alhaji Bola Tinubu aligned with him because of the South-South vote, because he delivered on the expectations allegedly from the 2023 presidential election. We all saw what Premium Times, published, that Peter Obi actually won Rivers State, but the election was rigged in the favor of the ruling class, the APC. The former governor championed that, allegedly, as published by Premium Times. Now, he has fulfilled that very bargain. You will now begin to ask yourself, what are the other bargain that Nyesom Wike expected or is expecting from President Bola Tinubu as well as his own personal ambition? Now, what do you think that will happen to Nyesom Wike if President Bola Tinubu loses the election? Or, for any reason, Tinubu wins the election again? Do you think that Wike will be re-assimilated into the cabinet of Alhaji Bola Tinubu after Tinubu would have secured what he hired Nyesom Wike for? You know what I mean? Do you think he will be re-assimilated? Or if at the end of the day Alhaji Bola Tinubu loses the election to Peter Obi and whoever that becomes his running mate, you will understand that Nyesom Wike will automatically become irrelevant, politically in Nigeria, especially at the national level. Or is Nyesom Wike also planning to run for presidency come 2027? That will be the biggest betrayal to Alhaji Bola Tinubu. If you watch my earlier video, you will have seen or heard what I said about that. The chances are there. He might decide to do that, he might not do that. But unfortunately, the structure that will have given him the voice to do that, which is PDP, has become structureless. So the odds are not entirely in the favor of Nyesom Wike. Or will he be gearing up to contest for presidency come 2031? The answer is practically no, because by 2031, the North will be gearing up to take back power from the South. Or will he also wait after the North may have completed their 8 years? That will be from the year 2039. And by the year 2039, Nyesom Wike will have become 73 years. The Igbos will say, na mmanwa anago, nwoke don't go. Even President Bola Tinubu, who is claiming today that he is 73 years old, see as him be now, 73 years old man. So imagine Nyesom Wike as he is now and how he's going to be by 2039, even with his official age of being, 73 years. So the odds are not looking very fine with Nyesom Wike. And that aligns with what Lamido has said in that video, and also what I said in my previous video, that Nyesom Wike is actually playing a very dangerous game. If Alhaji Bola Tinubu loses, he will become irrelevant. If Alhaji Bola Tinubu wins and feels that I have, ended up using Nyesom Wike as much as I have wanted from the beginning, then he will throw him out, just like Sule Lamido has stated. Now, why do I say that PDP has become a political party or a weapon fashioned against the ADC coalition and other political parties in Nigeria? Don't forget that previously, the former governor of FCT State, Ayo Fayose, was in a rally with APC members while wearing PDP cap and he was endorsing President Bola Tinubu for 2027.
To endorse publicly without reservation the President and Commander of the Armed Forces, President Bola Tinubu, for second term.
The same PDP structure we have in the Southwest were also in a rally and lending their support and endorsing President Bola Tinubu come 2027. Now you begin to ask yourself, what type of political party is PDP? Like I said, it is now a structureless political party, and they will not collapse it because it's a weapon now that is fashioned against ADC, intentionally against Peter Obi. Make on here where they were declaring their allegiance to Alhaji Bola Tinubu come 2027.
President Bola Tinubu can return to power in 2027 with that 90% of the total vote from the Southwest. And we are ready to give him. So, if we are ready to give him, what do we need from him? We don't need money, we don't need anything. We need fairness. We need level playing ground for all political parties.
This is one of the reasons why Nigerians should be very grateful to a voice like that of P2B, yes, and the ADC coalition, that will still have an opposition party in Nigeria. If by now there is nobody like P2B in Nigeria who has stood his ground, playing the role of the opposition, if there is nobody like Atiku Abubakar who has also taken some steps, in joining the coalition and all of that, Nigerian state would have become a one-party state, a one-party country. And that would be the death of democracy, because APC has infiltrated PDP. And with the role Nyesom Wike is playing in that, cabinet of Alhaji Bola Tinubu, is also a dangerous game, which has helped to destabilize the party. The party, in fact, PDP has become meaningless in the Nigeria of today. You now begin to ask yourself, is PDP now a branch of APC? Like I said, it's a weapon that is fashioned against the ADC coalition in this country. And they will continue with their machinations and other machineries to see how they are going to polarize both Labour Party, the ADC coalition, in order for everybody to come back to a one-party system, where the almighty Jagaban will become the sole kingmaker, both for presidency, ministerial appointment, House of Assembly, and even the House of Representatives. Just the same way we have such an autocratic and dictatorship type of leadership in Lagos State. Everybody will remember what happened to the former governor of Lagos State. I've forgotten his name. Just after one term, he was dethroned and he was never allowed to come back to limelight any longer. So that is where you have one sole kingmaker in an autocratic dictatorship type of leadership. That is exactly what they want to turn this country, Nigeria, into. But unfortunately, many of us that are already informed, we will continue to propagate the gospel so that Nigerians home and abroad will know what we are up against and act fast in 2027. Well, at this point, I will allow you guys to be the judge. Don't forget to let me know what you think in the comment section and share this video. My another person, Siam. God bless you.